I bring you guys, and in case you missed it, this happened out of Hollywood, Florida. And unfortunately, it happened on my birthday, June 10th, 2022. And I hate that for the victim, that a day that I celebrate on every year is going to be a day that she probably maybe feel the worst. So Terry Berger-Smith on August 1st, that's his birthday. He was born August 1st, 07. And he would celebrate his 15th birthday. And he would celebrate it in jail. But first, before I tell you why he would end up in jail on August 1st, let me tell you a little bit of why he even got there. While living in New York, Terry, at 12 years old, he pulled a knife out on a woman and he ripped her tooth out and proceeded to sexually assault her. She managed to flee from him, and he would keep her tooth as some kind of trophy. Luckily, he was caught and arrested, and he had to complete 18 months in a juvenile facility in New York, and then Terry would move to Broward County in Florida. So shortly before the moving truck even emptied, okay, and I'm just being sarcastic, but seriously, he had just arrived to Florida, and already a woman accused him of grabbing her neck and putting her in a chokehold during a situation where he tried to R-word her. And that occurred on May 27th, 2022 in Hollywood, Florida. The woman again was able to flee to her apartment and call the police. 2 weeks after that incident, that's when the woman, I will call her Grace was on her way to work around 4 a.m. And it was a route I'm assuming that she had taken many times before, and she even passed the Hollywood police station. So maybe that made her feel a little bit safe about being out there that late at night, or should I say very early in the morning. And little did she know there was a 14-year-old boy staring at her, and all along he's plotting to do some unthinkable things to Grace. He would pretty much bum rush her and push her into the bushes. He told her that he'd been watching her and he wanted to, quote, add her to his collection, end quote. He began to R-word her, and he also did what the children of this generation do. He pulled out his cell phone so that he could live stream it. He wanted his friends to watch him assaulting and threatening this woman. He even would move Grace to several different locations, all while recording her, threatening her, and assaulting her. He even told her that he had AIDS while filming and assaulting her. I guess, he wanted to put more fear into her, as if he wasn't doing it already. He also said he was going to impregnate her. He then asked her, did she live alone, and escorted her to her apartment. But Terry seen the victim's boyfriend, and he ran off. So yes, Terry seems like bad news. A bad child whose own mother doesn't understand how this happened, and some of the statements I've read that she's made. Well, Terry was looking at R adult movies, the violent ones, on a popular site. This is what he liked to watch, and he got an idea to start making those, and he wanted to upload the ones that he made, I guess for others to watch, right? And by the way, Terry didn't have AIDS. Again, it was something that he wanted to say to strike more fear into this woman's, while he was doing this to her. Awful, terrible. Now, Terry would ultimately again be arrested, and he entered a plea of no contest. His attorney asked for leniency on his client because he was only 14 years old when he did the crime. Now he's like 15, 16. He's up in that age now. So he didn't feel that when he was, that young, that his brain was not formed yet. It was not mature yet. And this is why he made this horrible decision. And this is why there's juvenile situations. Now in Florida, from what I read, unless it's murder or something like that, then they will go to juvenile. But no, they decided because he has priors, he has previous. He started, on paper when he was 12. Lord knows how long he really started, right? But on paper, they have him as being 12 years old when he was caught. But his lawyer didn't want him imprisoned with other adults. I get it. And he wanted him to have just 6 years max in prison for his punishment. Before Terry was sentenced, he did apologize to the victim's family and begged the judge for a short sentence. Terry and his parents asked the judge for mercy. Terry said, quote, "I would like my freedom. I would like a chance to be a normal person and not a criminal and a menace to society. I pray for the victim's forgiveness daily." End quote. Grace's mother said he did not deserve a second chance or a lighter sentence. The terror and the suffering that the victim went through at the hands of this person, despite him being underage committing an adult crime, has left scars on her soul. It is devastating to witness the profound impact this cruel act has had on Grace's life. She asked the judge to set an example despite Terry's age, and the judge did. He sentenced him to 495 months in a Florida state prison that equates to 41 years in prison. So he has four decades he has to spend before he gets out. Terry Berger-Smith will be 58 years old when he's released from prison now. I guess he still has some type of life, maybe, right? It all depends. Prison life is a very hard life. It is, and I don't know if he was mature enough to know that this is where he would be. Hell, when I was 14, I couldn't even envision myself being in my 40s, let alone being 58 in a prison, right? So, Severine Smith, she would speak. This is Terry's mother. She said, quote, "I didn't raise my kid knowing that one day he'd do such a thing. I'm ashamed because I feel like maybe I missed something," end quote. Who knows? We have sometimes parents that are horrible and disgusting, and they raise some beautiful, intelligent children that go on to have great lives. And then we have some beautiful parents that do everything for their kids, and their kids go on to be the most horrible people that walk the planet of this earth. So it's just very hard to say. Who knows what will happen to Terry while he's in prison? I mean, I'm sure his parents think about that all the time. 42 years that you have to be in there. And he was only 14, 15 when he got into the system. Everything from now on, he's going to learn in prison. You learn more bad stuff, believe it or not, while you're incarcerated than you do when you're in the free world. So who knows? I'm sure that his parents are very scared for him every day, not knowing what's going to happen to him, but they have to think about the fear that he was putting into these young women's lives when he was stalking them and assaulting them on the streets and recording it. So, it's a shame. It really is.